Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. My name is Artieka.
I'm Tommy.
And today we are reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 18, Episode 17. That episode is titled A Match Made in Scandal. It always makes me want to say Escandalo. Remember they was doing that with Scandal. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. All right, so Tommy took notes for the beginning of the episode. I didn't take any notes for the episode. So I'm shooting off the dome and he's got the first half down pat. Maybe. Okay.
I don't even remember who's. I didn't see the first 10 minutes of it.
Okay, me neither.
So,
what's the first thing you got?
Madison and Allan sat down with each other.
Okay, Madison and Allan sat down with the experts as sort of a let's get it all off your chest before decision day. However, it turned into decision day. I don't understand why they thought this was going to go.
I didn't understand the reason why. Well, I kind of get the reason why that they, had sat down with each other because they hadn't talked to each other. And that was the first time they talked to each other since. And I wonder how much was that production and how much was that just
Madison saying, I need to talk to Allan.
Yeah.
I'd say,
No, go ahead.
I was about to say, I'd say 70-30.
Yeah.
I'd say 70% of it was production. The other 30% was her saying, let me just go ahead and get it over with.
She apologized to Allan and said it wasn't intentional and it wasn't anything with malicious intent. Like she wasn't intentionally trying to do this. And I have to disagree with that statement.
Everybody has made this a full-blown relationship allowed, except for David and Madison.
What do you mean?
Like, everybody's like, they've been creeping around, they've been doing this, they've been doing that. And we know that they have, especially, well, we haven't seen it, but we have the assumption, the correct assumption in saying, like, seeing them coming in at the same time on the cameras and everything.
They definitely been hunching.
Right, but remember, her and David are still saying it's just feelings.
So okay, so I say they've been hunching.
I do too. I'm not disagreeing.
But this is why. Allan got the feeling that she was very transactional, a very transactional person. Maybe not a lot of times, but she's a transact. I'm not. I
want to know exactly what he meant by transactional.
He didn't say transactional.
He did.
Did he?
His word was transactional.
Oh, I thought that was my word.
No, it wasn't your
Sounds
word.
good. He meant what he said. He said that he thought that she had a lot of one-night stands and, she's a potty, not a potty girl, but a party girl.
Okay, Dad.
And
potty on the brain, huh?
He said that she's a party girl. Mm-hmm. And so she goes out and then she has these,
so
what can you call them?
One night stands.
Yeah.
Transactional to me means that you do things in exchange for something else, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it like, are you saying that she be sleeping with men for money?
No, he's not saying that.
That's why I said I want him to clarify.
He's saying that she sleeps around.
Okay.
And I don't want to say she just sleeps with anybody, but I know she slept with David.
She's a good time girl.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time. Let's see where the night takes us.
She definitely slept with David during this marriage. Like the thing that bothers me about that whole apology is I didn't do it intentionally. Yes, you did. Because if your intentions was not to hurt Allan, you wouldn't have did none of this.
That's the only intention she didn't have, was to hurt Allan in this process, because her intentions were, we're going to let this thing ride out. We're going to both say no on decision day, and then we going to fall into each other's arms later on that night. But what had happened was Michelle wouldn't let it rest.
Yeah.
And it had to come out, and it had to come out when they was all together.
he brought up the fact, like, if you and David were on this trajectory, whatever they call it,
the experiment.
No, I'm talking about they I don't forgot what they call their David and Madison thing.
We're falling for each other.
Whatever they call it. He was like, why dangle the carrot? And I was like, that's a good question. Why did you
continue to lie to this man?
Continue to lie to him, but also like go out on dates. Like actually try. Why didn't you just say, nah, this ain't gonna work? And I don't think she ever answered that. Mm-hmm. She definitely should have been honest with him. But another thing that stood out was Allan didn't want to know anything or talk to her about anything because he was like, I'm done with it. You know, I'm past it and stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, you have to explain to me what happened. If I had to sit here.
Boy, would they have to explain to you everything. What happened. Because I have seen you on the scoring side.
Everything.
And you want to know, well, what color did you have on?
I do. Was it rainy outside?
I know. And it wasn't even me.
Right.
I'm like, what does it matter? And it wasn't even me. And you know, usually people get defensive if it's them. Yeah. And I'm like, it wasn't even me. And I'm like, hey, you don't need to know all that.
No, but it's like, man, no, you sit there, you wasted his time. If anything, he deserves to know everything he asks you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And whatever would suffice him to get over it, because it's not a thing of him falling in love with her, him doing this, him doing that. It's a thing of he took his time out to actually try with this girl. Mm-hmm. And this girl did not try with him.
Right.
Because when she was spending the time with David, should have been the time that she'd been working on her marriage with Ella. So
David was conveniently ghost when she was like, all right, I'm going to go to the gym with you. Or, all right, I'm going to do XYZ with you.
Because she had to film with him.
I know.
And I feel like that was the thing, man. So it's like the way he felt, I didn't personally agree with it, but I get it. You know, I don't want to know anything.
He was trying to make a clean break. And it's like, this is a short time in my life that you and I have been wrapped up in each other's world. And I should be able to just let 8 weeks go really easy. Or 7 weeks go. Because he had a week to stew in it. That's the appearance that I get from it. Like, you look at somebody like Michelle, who we obviously know never liked David. Michelle is able to make a clean break because she never liked him.
Yeah.
I feel like her attitude with him and them is performative.
Yeah, we're going to get to that next.
Maybe not the attitude she had with Madison at the ending, but everything else about it is performative. Mm-hmm. Like, my dad cheated on my mom. Girl, you don't care.
Yeah, that ain't had nothing to do with you.
Right. But
anyway, go ahead.
Allan, Madison, they said no. That was my only guess that I had. So obviously judged that one wrong.
She said before we get off of them, she said he seemed more spiteful now. I was like, how you think he's supposed to be? Happy to see you?
That's because she never had feelings involved in this. So it was very easy for her to make a clean break, move to the next guy. This is like, Allan for her is like that guy that you meet at the club and you give him your number as like a dare from your friends. And then you decide, I don't want to talk to him again. So you just text a little bit to let it fizzle out.
Yeah.
And this was just happening to be an implode. And she's already fizzled.
Yeah.
And she doesn't understand why he's so caught up in it.
Which is dumb to me.
Oh, it's very dumb. But I'm telling you, that's her mindset.
Anyway, that's all I wrote for them.
All right, who you got next?
I wrote down Karla Juan, but I just said that he called her his best friend.
So yeah, Karla Juan. Juan called Karla his best friend. They sat down and had a conversation that was supposed to make us feel like there might be a glimmer of hope for decision day, and he was like, if she could just reel back on the spirituality stuff, and she was like, but that's who I am.
That's what they said in front of the experts.
No, this was them talking to each other in confessional.
Yeah.
Then when they got to the experts, it was more of that. Karla says that when she finds her person won't want her to reel back those parts of herself.
Yeah.
Like her athleticism and her spirituality won't be an issue.
She's athletic?
She does Pilates. Like, that was one of the things was like, he was like, she says she likes to work out, but she never wants to come to the gym with me. She was like, if you truly wanted to work out with me, it wouldn't be contingent on me coming to the gym with you at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
If you truly wanted to work out with me.
You would make adjustments.
Yeah. And she was like, I invited him into my world with Pilates, and we picked a time that was good for the both of us. It's not my normal time that I go to Pilates, but it fit both of us. And he was like, I didn't like it. And she was like, and just because you didn't like it doesn't mean I don't work out. Because if you've ever done Pilates works your whole body.
Yeah.
So essentially, he like, she need to tone down this stuff. She like, a person that's for me wouldn't ask me to do that. And for that reason, I'm out. Yeah. So like Shark Tank. The experts were like, oh, hugs, bye.
So they were cool. Like, obviously, guys,
he fell asleep during this part.
Didn't see any of Karla and Juan's parts.
That was pretty much it for Karla and Juan. Like, I don't feel like they left in a bad place. They said they left at a level of friendship.
Yeah.
And I think that Karla might call him when she has issues with something with
when her car ain't running,
doing her hair, or her car not running, or she sees some guys like running down the street doing like a marathon training or something. She'll be like, oh, Juan, how are you? Just checking in, stuff like that. But
they seem very cordial, and we didn't see a lot of interaction with them at the end when they all went to,
because they don't
Juan's
hate
place.
each other.
But man, Karla was, since we talking about them, Karla was on it.
What you mean?
When she was talking about Ikechi.
Oh
man.
Yeah. Speaking of, let's go to him and MM. They had no decision day because theirs was last week.
Yeah.
They ran into each other again at the full cast post decision day. I was trying to figure out what to call it. Post decision day mixer. MM really got in her feelings during that and had to give another monologue to Ikechi. And I get it. This man has attempted to assassinate your character. This man has been a terrible spouse for you. But it's some of those things that you just gotta let go.
Yeah, like when she started talking, I was like, man, come on.
Like, y'all had less time together than anybody else on this cast. And it hurts my feelings for her because they started off so good. Although I knew that it was going to take a turn. Felt very performative for them in the very beginning. So like it felt like, he was doing everything right and extra. So I was just waiting on the hat to drop.
Yeah.
Like the holding the napkin over her head in the rain. But you left all the food outside. Like, bro, go.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that was just a lot for me. But in the previews, she got a new boo, and I'm like, ain't this like a month out?
And engaged.
Yeah, ain't this like a month out?
Yeah, it ain't too far out. Unless they, because you said they filmed this in 2023.
I was reading something that said that they started everything in July and they concluded in October, meaning decision day would have been September.
Yeah.
The following them post decision day / the reunion would have been October.
Yeah.
And in October, she was already engaged.
Yeah, I don't know.
Still not married yet, allegedly. Like the internet hadn't said she's married yet. And you know, they be knowing because for some reason people really be like, let me look through this.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if she circled the block.
I think Ikechi had the right response when he didn't say anything. He tried to interject, but then, you know, she did her thing. But it's
Let me finish.
Right. It's like I saw it coming at one point. He was like, I don't want to hear this. And I respected that. I don't want to hear this. And that was the first time that Ikechi had said something. I was like, I'm with you on that.
I would have said nothing. I would have continued talking to somebody else. I don't know who his ally would have been there to talk to.
He didn't have any.
Right, because everybody was on MM side.
Everybody was on MM side because he didn't try to hang out. And they said something about that. He was like, I don't forgot what he said, but
he ain't come there to make friends. He came there to get married.
That's what he said previously. This time he said, he was like, she belittles him so much that he didn't want to come hang out with everybody and make any type of thing because he didn't want to be around her or something like that. And I was like, I get it, man. So, yeah, that's pretty much it with them.
All right, so we've done.
We can either do Michelle and David.
Let's go to them. We'll end on a happy note.
All right.
Michelle and David sat down. Michelle is still milking this. Oh my God, you cheated on me. And David's still like, what you want me to say?
Yeah, David showed his butt this time with the experts. I was disappointed in David in the way that he showed up. Like, I don't want to hear about Michelle saying that he cheated on her and this and that, because everything boils down to the fact that Michelle did not want him.
Mm-hmm. And I wish that would have been conveyed to the experts more. Like, they held Madison to the fire about the line, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're holding David to the fire. But I feel like they saw Allan trying. So there's nothing to be like, Allan, you didn't do this right.
Yeah, and they... Go ahead.
But for Michelle really didn't like him. And she just happened to get her thing that made her not look like the bad guy and not have to get in trouble with the parents at the ending of it.
Because it's if David shows maturity in his actions, and two things: if he doesn't cross the line with Madison, or if he doesn't send a text message, Michelle is still looked upon as, you didn't even try. And what frustrated me with the experts was is that they didn't call that out. They're saying because David was like, well, she didn't want to be with me. Which I get it. It's like we wouldn't have a problem or issue, or it wouldn't be a big of a deal if Madison was Tiffany that was single.
Yeah.
You know, we wouldn't have an issue with it. But then
we wouldn't have as much.
We wouldn't have much of an issue.
Because it still would have been, bro, you couldn't wait, you couldn't not do this for 8 weeks. That's literally I'm in a situation.
Yeah. Right, I get it. But for Michelle, it's like, man, you sitting there, you looking at her talk, and you looking at her being mad and frustrated, and it's like, but you didn't do your part as his wife. Like you did the bare minimum as a roommate.
We had a good day. We talked for like 20 minutes. Like, bro, what?
Bro, it's 24 hours in a day. 60 minutes in an hour.
Somebody that I don't like, I can still talk to. Like, if I know that this, literally, Gina and Clint stick out in my mind as like the model. We don't like each other, but we can have a conversation.
Right.
Because they figured out how
They hung out with each other. They ate dinner with each other.
They figured out how to have conversations. That was it.
Clint loved the dog more than he loved like Gina.
He want to get that dog back.
But it's like man,
never move.
It's
I'm
like
your guy.
It's like, man, you see that and you're like, you feel for David in the beginning because you're like, dog, She is taking this man through it. And then David does this dumb stuff with Madison. And you like, dang. But you, like, for me, I still don't forget what Michelle did or the lack of doing. Because I don't feel like that's forgivable. That action is a reaction to David and Madison. Or did I say that backwards? No, I said it backwards. David and Madison's actions are a reaction to Michelle's lack of action. And that's lack of conversation, lack of will to be here, lack of just genuine, like, I want to get to know you.
I think that Madison also would have still, like, stepped out with somebody else. But the crazy part is that this dude is up here smiling in Allan's face.
Yeah, that's the wild part.
And she up here talking to Michelle about the problems in her relationship.
That's the most disrespectful part about it.
And it's like, bruh, y'all couldn't figure this out.
Y'all couldn't say something earlier?
Right.
Or just be mature enough to not cross the line. Because for David is in the clear because this girl didn't want him.
I don't think it makes him in the clear.
No, I'm saying he's in the clear because why should I try if she's not going to try?
But at that point,
No. I'm not saying like go out and
No. I'm saying at that point, once you realize that she's not trying with you, you make every effort to say this aloud on camera.
Right. You say it and you be like, what am I supposed to do?
You don't even want to talk to me.
But he waits until now, and now he's sitting up here looking like a 16-year-old kid.
Believe what you want to believe.
Believe what you want to believe, rolling your eyes, not interested in being here, knowing that you have to be here. I was like, man, that's so disrespectful to the experts who are actually trying to help you. You have to grow up.
Yeah.
You know, in that situation.
I know he felt scolded in this situation because he was the one to screw up in the two of them.
Don't the
right?
song say two wrongs don't make it right?
Correct. That is the song.
And it's like we're looking at the who was wronger. I know it ain't a word, but it's my word.
More wrong. But okay. Yeah. So it's at the end, it was another believe what you want to believe. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, them faces don't do anything for you, Michelle. Stop. And that's pretty much all I had for them.
I spent time trying to figure out what she wanted. Dr. Peel was like, whatever, dude. Pastor Kyle was trying. I don't even think Dr. Pepper said anything. He apologized and said it wasn't no intention to hurt her. Like,
everybody's like, yes, it was. I'm like, no, it wasn't. She wasn't supposed to find out.
Right.
If everybody was being completely honest and saying things like, well, if she would have just stopped digging, she wouldn't feel this way. Because that's what his real thought is.
But you know, I think she said this at the end of the episode and not while they were like sitting there. She was like, it feels like, or either it was on the previews, but she was basically said, it feels like they're winning to see them together. I was like, that's what it is.
She was supposed to come out this with insert husband here.
It's not even insert husband here. It's a thing of I'm doing bad or
y'all not supposed to be doing better than me.
I'm on this level and I don't want you to do. I want you to do good, but I don't want you to do better than me.
She don't want them to do good. She doesn't wish them well.
It's a matter of, it's not a matter of them doing good. I just don't want you. I'm here. I don't want you here.
But have you ever seen like two people be in a relationship that you know is not a good relationship? They try to flaunt it as if it is, and you're like, okay. You so happy. Stop talking to me about it.
Yeah.
I think that's how she feels about it, but she has to see it to complete filming.
Yeah, but the thing about David and Madison is that they've ostracized themselves with the group. So a lot of times with them being with the group.
I'm gonna get it in a minute, okay? Go ahead. Them being in the group, what?
A lot of times with them being in the group, everybody's going to look at them weird because it's essentially why y'all here.
Yeah.
You know, type of thing. So, last couple, Camille and Thomas.
Camille and Thomas said yes on decision day. Thomas came out with his basketball because he got to ask the hoop star of his dreams.
Yeah.
Let's make this thing official, baby.
Let's stay married.
What's funny is they was like, I see you, Thomas. You got a little... They was like, you got your little things about you. Got your woman's touch. He had his earrings in.
They said all that?
They didn't say like your earrings in, but they was like, you look like you had a woman's touch.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you know. Or, you know, the Thomas equivalent of, well, you know. Camille, I was trying to think her name. Camille tried to make a dramatic pause in saying that they were going to be together.
It was dramatics, man, because they went on commercial in the middle of everything.
No, they went on commercial in the middle of everything. Remember, they went on commercial in the middle of Carla's. No, or you don't remember but they did. I don't really have anything else to say about them. I'm happy that we stopped trying to make issues.
She has a valid point when she says we need plans and not ideas of how the next steps and stuff.
She wants him to take control of the situation.
He admitted that he's not great at that.
Right. But that's the thing. It's going to be difficult for her as a person who has to control every aspect of her own life to then look to someone else to control aspects of her life. She's going to always, I don't want to say undermine whatever he says, but she's going to try to change the things that he says because she thinks that she has better ideas.
Yeah.
And there's just some things that you got to let go. Like, I think it took us a little while to get into a groove of you do this and I do this. And now it's just second nature for most things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, even down to something as simple as bees and wasps. Mm-hmm. You like, nah, that's Artieka.
Yeah.
And it's never been let's sit down and talk about this type conversation. It's just, I'm scared. She not. She got it.
Yeah.
So when you look at it from that standpoint, they just haven't figured out that groove. And the hardest part, and they should have been talking about this. They shouldn't have made it to 8 weeks to figure this out. But I personally don't think that either one of them should be moving in each other's homes.
Yeah.
One of them can sublease to Karla.
Right.
But they need to move into somewhere together. Like if they stay in the what do they call it?
See, the issue
the place that they live in together, the neutral apartment.
Yeah. The issue with that is like, hey man, do what you have to do that makes financial sense. And that's where Thomas is looking at it from.
Because he work at a bank.
Camille is looking at it from a standpoint of we need to be together.
Mm-hmm. And I get that.
Both things stand to be true.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know where they live from each other, but I know in a big city, and Chicago is a big city, that can be a hard decision to make.
Yeah.
Because if his job is on this side of town, her job is on this side of town, you got to move somewhere in the middle, but how affordable is the middle?
Yeah. And so you got a lot of stuff to look at. I think you have to take the time to see what works, see what time is left in each lease, and make the best decision. I don't think immediately like calling your people like, hey, I need to move out, you know, or I'm finna like take a month. Take a month and then say, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Come up with a plan, and both of y'all work on the plan, you know. Mm-hmm. But it's not a thing of we have to do this immediately. You have to do it, but
I think that it's much better to be proactive about it. So this should have been something that they have been having conversations about. Because once we gonna work, we're going to be together. It definitely should have been all right, so what's next?
I think Thomas said the realest, and it's not even about what you was just talking about, but I think Thomas said the realest thing. Thomas came with the best stuff. Mm-hmm. He didn't say much, he didn't do much, but he came with some of the best stuff. So he said, man, if I call you a friend, talking to David, if I call you a friend, I have to be able to hold you accountable for everything, good, bad, and indifferent. And he was like, man, you know, you were wrong. You know, and David takes it in a frustrating way because it's not like he's learning the lesson.
He's taking it in a frustrating way because right now he's in the defense mode of everybody's against me. Everybody's telling me I don't need to hear this from another person.
Yeah.
Dr. Pia said it. Dr. Pepper said it. Pastor Cal said it. Michelle has said it. Allan won't even shake my hand.
Right. Which I respect. And why he kept trying to shake his hand, man?
Allan was like, don't put your hands on me.
Allan was like, I don't want to shake your hand. I don't want to shake your hand. And he did it again. Bruh, I do not want to do this.
Don't touch me.
I'm here because I have to be.
No, he's there. He's fine with everyone else. It's literally y'all two that's the issue. Yeah. I think he would have a conversation with Ikechi at this point.
He probably would. I don't think he ever had issues with Ikechi like that.
No.
He had a problem with how he treated MM.
I mean, that's what his issue was. But well, actually, I think something may have happened.
Oh,
and I say that because when they got on the party bus, they was like, he's not here. He won't be missed.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. But
we doubling back on everything.
Yeah, we are. So
Camille and Thomas stay together. Let's wrap them up with a bow. The ending scene, because that's what you're talking about. Yeah. What you got to get out about that?
I think I got it all.
I can't believe that Madison was talking about fighting Michelle like she wasn't the one in the wrong.
Yeah. She was talking about fighting her?
Like boxing.
Oh, yeah, she did say that at the end. I was like, but you're wrong. Like, be humble.
Sit down.
Right. Be humble about that whole situation because it's like that conversation could have gone worse because you're wrong.
You were absolutely
two fronts.
You were absolutely in the wrong. Can't make this up.
Can't make this stuff up, man.
So I think we went through everybody. I am very interested in seeing what happens when this next episode starts because Michelle was like, you want to wait until I get over there to talk about me?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see what happened during that conversation too.
Karla was just over there like...
Karla was like...
Karla needs to do those, that one TikTok that be like, not too much on my girl.
Karla needs to do the commentating for this. So anyway, that's funny.
Anywho, you done?
Yeah.
All right. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. I don't have a question. Time LP in one when he figure out what it is. We'll see you guys on... Are we getting this up today?
Yeah.
Yes. We'll get this up hopefully early. So we'll see you guys on Saturday for Love Brew with Jack and Glenn. Oh no, Love Brew was with us. Sunday panel with Jack and Glenn and Talisa Ray. And I think that's it. We trying to still figure out how we gonna record Ready to Love because I ain't took a note yet this season.
Mm-mm.
So we'll figure that out as well and hopefully throw in some Ready to Love footage as well.
Yeah. So.
All right. We'll see y'all later on in the week. Bye, y'all.
Peace.
Choir, you say bye-bye to the people. Say bye.
Bye.